The most dangerous man is the one who thinks he's smart. You might think you're smart, but one of these signs could prove otherwise. There's a silent epidemic among men. It's not poverty, not weakness. It's the illusion of intelligence. The man who thinks he knows everything. The man who talks more than he listens. The man who never questions himself because he believes he's always right. That man is not strong. He's not wise. He's dangerous to himself. You see, stupidity isn't loud. It's subtle. It hides in your habits, your ego, your refusal to evolve. And if you're not careful, it becomes your identity. But here's the truth. Every wise man was once a fool until he faced himself. In this video, we'll uncover 7 subtle signs of a foolish man so you can break the cycle, rise above mediocrity, and lead with wisdom, not arrogance. Let's begin. Sign 1. He argues more than he listens. You've seen him before? Maybe you've been him before. The man who turns every conversation into a battlefield, where the goal isn't truth but dominance. He's not listening to understand, he's listening to reload. The moment he feels challenged, he doesn't reflect, he retaliates. Why? Because to admit he's wrong would crack the illusion of control. But here's the paradox. Real strength isn't in having all the answers. It's in having the humility to ask better questions. The Stoics knew this. Epictetus once said, "It is impossible to learn that which one thinks he already knows." A wise man listens, not because he's weak, but because he values truth more than pride. So here's the challenge. Next time you're in a heated discussion, ask yourself, am I defending my ego or opening my mind? Sign 2, he blames luck instead of building discipline. To the undisciplined eye, success looks like luck. A fit body, good genetics, a thriving business, right place, right time. A stable, confident man, he just got lucky. But here's the truth. A foolish man calls it luck because it's easier than confronting his own laziness. He'd rather believe the world is unfair than admit he hasn't shown up for himself. But the wise know luck is just discipline repeated in silence. It's the result of choosing to rise early when no one is watching, of saying no to comfort and yes to the long road, of doing the hard thing again and again until the world finally notices. So ask yourself, are you waiting for a lucky break or are you building one? Sign 3. He wastes time on meaningless battles. A foolish man is always at war, but never with the right enemy. He'll argue politics with strangers online, fight over petty opinions and defend his ego like it's a kingdom. He wins small battles, but loses the war of life. Because here's the truth, every argument costs energy, and energy is limited. The wise man knows this. He doesn't fight to be right, he fights to grow. He picks his battles like he picks his friends, carefully with purpose. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You could be good today, but instead you choose tomorrow." So ask yourself, how many hours have you wasted on debates that didn't move your life forward? Because real strength isn't in proving a point, it's in protecting your peace. If any of this hits home, pause for a second and drop a comment below. Let's see how many of us are waking up and growing. Sign 4. He thinks feelings matter more than truth. A foolish man lets his emotions steer the wheel and then wonders why his life crashes. When he's angry, he explodes. When he's sad, he shuts down. When his ego is bruised, he lashes out. To him, how he feels is more important than what is real. But here's the truth. Emotions are waves. They rise, crash, and pass. The wise man doesn't fight the waves. He learns to surf them. He doesn't deny his feelings, but he doesn't follow them blindly either. He pauses, he reflects, and he acts with clarity, not chaos. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters." So ask yourself, are your emotions in charge, or are you the one holding the reins? Because mastery begins the moment you stop obeying every storm inside you. Sign 5. He repeats mistakes without ever learning. Failure doesn't define a man, but his reaction to it does. The foolish man lives on repeat. He dates the wrong person again, spends money he doesn't have, trusts people who don't deserve it, and every time he says the same thing, "Man, I just have bad luck." But it's not bad luck, it's bad patterns. He never pauses to ask, where did I go wrong? He just dives back in, hoping this time the fire won't burn him. The wise man? He studies the ashes, he reflects, he adapts. He makes new mistakes, but never the same one twice. So ask yourself, are you learning or just looping? Because wisdom isn't about being perfect. It's about not making the same dumb decision twice. Sign 6. He surrounds himself with mediocre people. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. A foolish man surrounds himself with comfort, friends who complain, procrastinate, and play small. Why? Because being the smartest in the room feels good. It feeds the ego, but it starves your growth. The wise man does the opposite. He seeks out those who are sharper, stronger, further ahead. He's willing to feel small because he knows that's how you rise. Growth isn't always comfortable, but staying in circles that expect nothing from you, that's the fastest way to stay exactly where you are. So take a look around. Are your people pulling you up or holding you back? Sign 7. He rejects feedback and hates being corrected. Foolish man takes every piece of feedback as an attack. He can't handle being called out. He hates being corrected, and that's exactly why he never grows. But the wise man? He sees discomfort as a signal, not a run, but to listen. He knows that growth rarely feels good in the moment. Truth isn't always comfortable, but it's always necessary. Ask yourself this: when was the last time someone corrected you and you actually thanked them? If your pride always comes first, your progress will always come last. Because the man who fears feedback fears his own potential. Choose wisdom before it's too late. The world is full of foolish men, loud, reactive, and stubborn, but you don't have to be one of them. You just have to choose differently. Wisdom doesn't scream for attention. It grows quietly, in the honest decisions you make when no one's watching, in the disciplined steps you take when it would be easier to blame, quit, or pretend. So ask yourself, what kind of man are you becoming? Because every moment is a fork in the road. One path leads to noise and ego, the other to clarity, growth, and quiet power. And if something in this video sparked a shift inside you, don't let it fade. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, but for the man you're becoming. This isn't just a video, it's an invitation to rise.